let's move on a little bit here. Whenever we Google you, up pops an icon of all time, David Bowie.
Oh yeah.
And I know David Bowie was actually a fan of yours, and liked you. You were in Absolute Beginners with them as Big Jill, along with Patsy Kensit, and tell us what it's like meeting Bowie.
I'd met him 6 months before. I was in his it won a Grammy or something for Jazzing for Blue Jean.
Yeah, yeah.
Also directed by Julian Temple. And a lot of the people that were in Absolute Beginners were in that kind of mix of that show. And I'd never really I liked him, but I wasn't a super fan. And because I kept thinking, my God, how could you get him in bed? He's so thin. Not that other people would think along those lines, but that, I just was looking at him like that. And I liked his songs, but I was more into Marvin Gaye and all the black artists that came over from America.
Yeah.
So the sound to me, because he sounded like Anthony Newley.
Yeah,
Do you know, for me, and I knew who Anthony Newley was.
Collins' husband, wasn't it?
Pardon?
Joan Collins' husband, Anthony Newley.
Yeah, no, they was. But anyway, so I wasn't a super fan. So I was kind of not in a space of, I couldn't talk to him.
Yeah.
The hush went round, Bowie's coming, this is onto the set, 4:00 in the morning behind the Savoy. And as he came through, I looked at him, and of course, I wanted to go, oh, hello, David, hello, Mr. Bowie. I wanted to say something. Of course, my mouth opened, and I heard my voice say, "Oh, you haven't got a brown eye at all." I said, "You've got a big pupil." That's what I said to him, because at the time you have to remember that there wasn't so many. Now everything's on the internet, isn't it? You can just look it up. It's there. You can beam in, beam out. Do you know what I mean? You can sort of see what's going on. But the information that came out was he had a brown eye and a blue eye.
Yes, yeah, that's awesome.
And anyway, we started chatting, and he said to me, "What made you choose a name like Ferret?" Do you know, and I said, "I didn't. It's my family name." And he said, Madame Ferret. And he said, and he then, was absolutely charming. And he said, what influences you, and all the things, the different songs. And I said, oh, we used to sing a song, Call Round Any Old Time, that old English music hall song, which he knew word for word. Yeah. We sang it together as if we were old mates. Call round any old time, make yourself at home. And if you think about it, he would be going ground control to Major Tom. Or what's his name? Anthony Newley, what kind of fool? They all had this kind of Cockney kind of, what kind of fool am I? Anyway, I'm going on. But 6 months later,
I could ask you this because
running out of time.
Obviously, you're a huge hit on the gay scene. I mean, everyone knows Eve Ferret's names, particularly late 70s and 80s when AIDS and HIV raised its head. And I know you were a bit like the British Bette Midler of us, weren't you? And you must have been affected yourself personally by the epidemic. And how did it affect you?
It was the most extraordinary time. At the beginning of it, in about 81, 82, which is much earlier than people put down. Yeah. Friends started saying, I've got something wrong with my blood. It's like leukemia. This is how it was kind of explained to them, because nobody knew. Nobody kind of knew. Nobody could place it. I'd come back from New York in 79 and been to Fire Island and everything. Yeah. And I found some pictures recently. A huge swathe of my life went. My life being my loved ones and friends. some as young as 27. Some went on for many, decades afterwards. And we have lots of medicines now. So I was thrilled that throughout this COVID thing, that they feel that they've come up with a vaccination or something to help people, because it is actually, although it's kind of now not spoken about, it is absolutely massive in certain countries in the world,
Yeah.
as a major cause of illness and death. I remember, because I watched the program on TV, I steeled myself. I couldn't watch it in a whole batch. I watched one and then was traumatized, and then started watching it again, because what, however the information was given out, and Diana obviously went on to, Diana, that's Princess Diana, went on to try to quell that. However it went out, it frightened everybody. So therefore I would be in the Mildmay hospital with a dying friend whose parents were outside, who wouldn't come into the room, just like the film, sort of the sitcom, who wouldn't come into the room because they were frightened.
You're talking, and I said, It's a Sin.
Yeah, It's a Sin. I couldn't remember what it's called. It's not that I've erased it because it was so brilliant. It's just that it's traumatic.
Yeah, for a lot of people, it's traumatic.
And
it was absolutely brilliant. It's one of the best pieces of pieces of TV I've seen in the last decade. It was really powerful.
Well, especially as those of us who were there, how people, some people would say, "Oh, it couldn't possibly have been like that." It was, and worse. But anyway, lots of my friends have survived, thank God, and are and great. But it's still a traumatic time, because.
Do you worry now that when you see you look at young gay guys who some think it's an old person's disease, HIV? Seriously, do you worry that people are taking precautions and looking after themselves in this day and age?
Well, yeah, I have heard through just general, how we used to hear things before the internet, that people are not worried about it at all, and actually it's risen. It's quite a, and although it's something, although it can be managed, it's not something that if you can prevent it, which you can, then that's where we should be at, but not actively taking no notice of it.
Yeah, brilliant. Now, listen, if you were having a dinner party, we're cheerier subject now for you. What having a dinner party with 4 people? What 4 people, alive or dead, would you invite?
Right. Well, a lot of them are dead.
Yeah, invite dead.
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Marvin Gaye.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Clark Gable. Oh my God. Lucille Ball.
Oh my God, they're making a movie about her at the moment. I think I can't remember who was in it. Yeah, they're making a movie right now.
Are they? Who's in it? You don't know.
Yeah, so I do. I'm having one of my moments where I can't remember.
Is it like Renée Zellweger or something?
It's really an actress married to Tom Cruise. Oh my God, why can't I
Nicole Kidman?
Yes, there we go. She's playing her. There were pictures of Kate Blanchett done up as her, and I was hoping she was going to do it, but that looks like what it is. Anyway, so back to you, so me. So, so Elizabeth and Lucia Ball. Who do you most admire music-wise now?
Well, I still like all my old people, but I really I'm charmed and like Celeste.
Yeah.
I think that she's got something. There's a lot of them. I remember when Amy Winehouse came, and I thought, what's the point of even trying? She's just so amazing, And then, but in modern terms, I think Celeste, a lot of the groups. I listen to Radio 6 on a Sunday morning. I love that. With what's her name? Keris Matthews. And she comes up with a load of really interesting different things. Plus, I listen to Robert Elms, who's more funk. I love funk so much. And so he, the funky ferret. I love funk so much.
I,
It's just a shame, isn't it, that in this country our training ground is within our churches if we go to church. So you're singing Jerusalem, Jerusalem, all that stuff.
yeah.
Whereas in America you have all those kind of
Gospel music.
yeah,
Well,
and you just think,
these kind of people come, where people come from training. Um, uh, 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 One last question.
oh, last question.
There's rumors of a TV series about the Blitz Club and things. Who and you're bound to be in it. Which actress would you like to play you?
I don't know. Which actress would I like to?
Yeah,
I
would you
don't
feel
know. I
like?
can't think. Having just been asked to see if I would play um, Madam Rita. Do you remember Two Kids for Two Farthings? You remember
Yes,
that thing with the unicorn with Diana Dawes? Weirdly enough, they didn't want me to be the Diana Dawes part. Thank God, because I'm so old. Is the well, not that old. They said, "Oh, could you play Madam Rita?" It was originally played by a man. I thought, what's new? What's new?
Did you think
Tell me something I don't know.
one of RuPaul's drag queens will end up playing you?
I know it could be. You know what I mean? Right? Because it has to be. Because forever, and people never really understand that. What I'm about to say, it doesn't. I always had people come up to me and say, "Excuse me, are you a man or a woman?" And I always think to myself, would I have chosen? Would I have gone to a surgeon and say to him, make me look like this?
No, there's just one added little tiny question here. So back when you were doing Absolute Beginners, playing a gay character or a lesbian character could be the kiss of death to people's careers. And now everyone and their mother's playing a LGBT character. How did it affect your career playing Big Jill?
I never thought of it like that because I never think of one's sexuality as being the main criteria of it's just part of you, isn't it? It's not.
There was the stage. There's the actors felt it was a kiss of death to play a character, and it's all these such. Now the floodgates have opened, thank God.
Yeah.
But I just wondered if you ever did anyone suggest that might not be a good thing?
No, not at all. Not in my circles that I mix in. It's all inclusive.
I just want to see much more of you on TV because you're one of the funniest people and one of the most enjoyable people to interview. And you're a little gem that I think should be on every week on TV. Maybe behind the bar in EastEnders. I think it'd be brilliant. with your cup of
Instead of in the corner going, the party's over. It's time to. No, I think that there's time for. One thing out of this lockdown is that we're all rushing around for what exactly anyway?
You said something very clever to me the other week. You said, out of this, something cool will arise. And I think you're right. I was just thinking about it, like the phoenix arising from the ashes.
Something really special will happen. It's magic time. Yeah. It has to be because too many people are down and too many people have lost people.
I love that word. It's magic time. It's been magic interviewing you. Thank you ever so much. And I'll speak.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been really, really great.